Titi, let's just get some analysis from you on some of the reports that we've seen coming through from the banking sector. Let's kick off with Skye Bank. Profit after tax for the 9-month period coming in at 9.37 billion naira. That's up 9.5% year on year, largely in line with expectations. What's your assessment of Skye Bank's third quarter?
Good morning. Thanks for having me. For Skye Bank, it was actually below expectation. We saw the turnover grow by 11%, while profit after tax and profits before tax grew by 10%. We saw the net loan increase by 10% as well. It was actually below expectation. Our expectation was about 13.5% improvement in the ROE, but it actually improved by 12% from the figures released. It was below expectation, though we maintain a buy rating, which is under review, but it was slightly below our expectation.
The First Bank's results also have come through now. Strong growth there in net loans and advances. Also interest income increasing. That's of course as we have interest rates increasing over in Nigeria. When you're looking at this company's growth outside of Africa, now acquiring that bank in the Democratic Republic of Congo, what do you make of its expansion in the African region?
Yeah, we see it as a welcome development. The acquisition of BIC by First Bank, we think it's actually in line with the bank's strategy to increase its growth and its spread in the sub-Saharan Africa. We think it's actually a move in the right direction to increase the benefit to shareholders by improving the return on equity. BIC is actually one of the largest banks, or largest commercial banks in Congo. It has over 25 branches. It has a total asset of about over $200 million and a deposit of over $160 million. We think this would have a positive impact on First Bank. It's going to increase the benefits to shareholders eventually.
Now, there's still some concerns around the Seawolf loan that accounts for around 28% of the net asset value of First Bank. Has there been any communication from management over what they plan to do with this concerning loan going forward?
For First Bank, well, the result published recently, the third quarter, was actually above our expectation. Looking at it, we saw the turnover grew by 19%. We saw profit after tax and profit before tax growing by over 20%. We think it's actually a good one for First Bank. Though on the cost-to-income part, we saw that cost-to-income increased slightly. It increased to 59.6% from 58.6% in the previous quarter. We think that with a tightening in the monetary policy, we think Tier 1 banks, which First Bank is one, is able to face the competition and able to improve liquidity.
We have seen interest income rising for the likes of First Bank, but let's look at the interest rate environment and how it's likely to affect bad debts and non-performing loans. What are your expectations for which of the banks are most likely to be affected by these high interest rates when you're looking at bad debts?
Looking at the interest hike, we think that for most of the Tier 1 banks, it's actually going to help as looking at the lending. Most of the banks have increased their lending rates, and it's going to add to the net income and add to the bottom line of the organization.
Which of the other banks do you expect to be outperformers for the third quarter? We've still got Zenith, UBA and Access to report this week, but going forward, which banks would you be betting on for some sterling results this quarter?
We think GT Bank, we also think Zenith, and we think they're going to bring out results that are going to be in line or above our expectation. We still see many interest in the stocks, especially the Tier 1 bank. We see valued investors that are looking long term, still interested in these banks, and we think that their results are going to be fantastic and they're going to be able to turn around the market in the short term.
It appears these positive results from the banking sector has helped to buoy the general market sentiment overall. Do you think the market can sustain this positive price movements today?
Today we expect that going into the market, we expect that the market is going to still close on a positive note like we saw yesterday, because we still see valued investors long-term looking at some of the stocks with good fundamentals. Though the interest rate, the rate in the money market has been as attractive, following the hike of 2.75% basis points in the money market in MPR. We still think that valued investors and long-term investors are still looking at the market, and we still think that there's prospect for the equities market.
Particularly with, of course, the banking stocks are trading below their book value at this point in time. Thanks for your time, Titi. Titi Ogungbesan, Equities Broker from Stanbic IBTC Stockbrokers on the Nigerian market.